1853, long time ago, during the gold rush. There were two seamen, two of them. And there was John Lewis, James Nicholson. On the highest part of the hill, I'm not too sure which part, but over the other side, looks pretty high. The highest point here at Whroo, they first found a big chunk of nugget. Yes, gold. Yes, gold is where you find it, and that's where they found it. Once they found that gold, this open cut, a whole mine, the Balaclava mine, opened up. Welcome to another episode, another from my Bushland adventures for another episode, and we're here in Whroo, a place called Whroo, and this is known as the Balaclava mines. So we're just going to have a look around the area, have a look at some of the shafts, and lots of mines around, lots of tunnels. So and then we're eventually going to check out the Pioneer Cemetery. The cemetery dates back to 1800s. Okay, so let's check it out, the Balaclava mine. Here at Whroo, Victoria, is the beginning of the walk to the Balaclava mines of gold. This is the entrance, and this is the recreational area. There is a hut with lots of information about the Balaclava mine. Evidence of the mid-late 1800s gold rush can be found throughout the Victorian goldfields in the form of abandoned mine shafts and tunnels, mullock heaps, buildings and ruins, circular puddling troughs, remains of cyanide fats and quartz kilns. And there is a car park here as well. This is one of the many tunnels, shafts, that you find gold. You'll find a lot of these. There's a lot of mine shafts in this area here at Whroo, Balaclava mine, and there's lots of shafts. You must keep to the tracks because you don't know where you're going to be stepping into. Yeah, so this is one of the tunnels. I don't know how far it goes, but I'd imagine it'll go a fair way. Holy crap. One big shaft. Wow. Got steps going down to it. Wow. That is huge. Oh, it's a bit unfortunate. The signboard's got nothing on it. As you can see here, there's a tunnel down there, shaft. Right there. In 1854, this was the same date as the Battle of Balaclava in Russia during the Crimean War. Hence, the Balaclava mine derived its name from the English spelling. In May 1855, the Balaclava mine was opened. In July 1863, Lewis drove a tunnel from west to east through Balaclava Hill to allow a tram line to operate. Gold-bearing quartz were carted out of the mine on the tram line to nearby steam-driven stamping batteries, where it was crushed to release the gold. Lewis and Menzies crushed 85,804 tonnes of quartz and recovered 21,340 ounces of gold, 85,000 pounds sterling from 1866 to 1881. This is one of the many tunnels, shafts. We were over there, the other side, earlier. But there are steps going down to it, but unfortunately, we can't go down there. It's prohibited. The reason is, there's a risk of falling rocks. Yeah, you can see what I mean. Now you'll find this numerous amount of shafts like this one here. It's a deep shaft. What you'll find over the side of that hill is the Balaclava mine. That's where we saw just previously. And a lot of those shafts would be one big drop down that meets to the tunnel down below. So if you go down one of those tunnels, if you go down one of those shafts, you'll probably end up going through a tunnel.
There's probably lots of them. Unfortunately I can't get any closer because it's all fenced off. Yes, it's a very risky area. Now I'm out here in the bush. The gold rush, this area is all gold fossicking area here. Back in the 1800s when the gold rush was on, there were tents. There were tents everywhere. Every family had a tent, and the father would go down the shaft and dig for gold. This was full on back in the 1800s. But at the moment you can hear a pin drop. Very quiet. And usually the gold rush fever is on when there's lots of water. Because generally it gets very dry here in the area. With no rain, it's all dry, but that means there's no water to use. So when they get a lot of rain, which brings out a lot of water, then the rush is on for gold. Yep. Wouldn't it be nice? And you'll find there are lots of mines, gold mines around in Victoria, lots of big ones. The shaft that we saw, big open cut, we saw is probably one of the biggest. Probably, I'm not too sure what's the biggest in Victoria, but I'm assuming there is one big one in Stawell, in Victoria, a place called Stawell. There's gold mining, and I believe that's quite active still today. And so you remember the magenta mines that we went to near Chiltern. We went there. This open cut here at Rushworth is a whole lot bigger than the one we saw at Chiltern. Yeah, so now with all these mounds, little hills you see around here, it's leftover soil, earth that's been dug up. So once they dug up, and they would sift all the soil to see if there's any gold, and they scoop out the gold, and all the rest of the earth gets pushed back. So that's what you're seeing here. It's just remains of earth that's been dug up out of the mines. There's lots of it, you'll find. When there's lots of it, you can imagine how many mines are in this area, how many people are fossicking for gold. Now the biggest gold nugget, they found the gold nugget here, up the hill behind me. The biggest gold nugget, as far as I know, is the Hands of Faith. The Hands of Faith, which is situated at Ballarat, Sovereign Hill, Ballarat. If you go there, there is a gold nugget right down the shaft tunnel. You can go down there, apparently. I think there's an elevator or something that goes down to there, and embedded in the rock, wall of rock, is the gold. But when you go there, you'll have security with you, because that Hands of Faith is worth millions of dollars. Yeah. And that is sitting over there at the big mine shaft at Ballarat, Sovereign Hill. Check it out. Yeah.
The remains of this process are piles of fine grey sand called mullock heaps. To try to save money, the company blew up the mine workings with a large chunk of dynamite. They hoped this would enable them to quarry the mine, but the blast only made it too unsafe to continue shaft mining. However, a convenient opening was made in the side of the hill, and the whole body of the hill was conveyed by tramway to the nearby steam-driven stampers. Mining was frequently hampered by a shortage of water between March 1865 and April 1866. The work stopped for 6 months due to lack of water. Then the rain fell so heavily that all the races leading to a partially built dam was broken, and only enough water for 2 months was collected. The dam was finally completed, and by August it was full of water. Only an exceptionally dry season stopped working again.
Now I'm just having a bit of lunch here at the Balaclava mine. This is a car park area, picnic area, and I only could see what I could see. I was a little bit disappointed not going down the steps to the shaft, to the open cart, because you can't go down there. But anyway, we had a good look, and we're going to eventually check out the Pioneer Cemetery.
Many cemeteries within the goldfields, such as this, were established in 1850s when the discovery of gold attracted an enormous rush of people to the area. A walk through one of these historic cemeteries can be quite captivating and educational, as they are filled with headstones and monuments for over 150 years ago. Many burials are unknown.
Welcome to the Whroo cemetery. About 400 were buried here, and this gives you a picture of what it was like back in the 1850s in the gold rush. There were infants, there were children, there were Chinese. They attracted a lot of the Chinese diggers, and the law died here. They're all buried. So most of them died accidents, medical problems, sickness, typhoid, and yeah, there were children, there were babies, all sorts, dating back to the 1850s, even earlier. Time has passed.
This is a listing of the descendants of families, and on the right hand side are a list of names of children.
Well, there you have it, the Whroo Cemetery. I hope you enjoyed this video of the Balaclava mine here at Whroo, and there are several campgrounds around here, so you can come and camp, do a little bit of gold panning if you want to, and just explore the area. This is the Whroo Cemetery. Now my next adventure, we'll be going to a place called Bates Dam and Murmungie Lookout. That's somewhere around the Gapstead area between Letchworth and Murderford. We're going there next time. Bates Dam and Murmungie Lookout. See you there. Hope you enjoyed this video.